5, 4, 3, 2.
Tier 1 performance.
Welcome back to the In and Out Talks podcast, guys, powered by Tier 1 Performance, where we cover everything health, wellness, and sports. Today's special guest is a personal friend of mine, Justin Guy Robinson, Pearland legend, SMU college football player. Justin, thank you for taking the time, and thank you for being a guest on the show today, man.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Well, man, first and foremost, just for our guests out there, for our viewers, a little bit about yourself and where you're from originally.
Got you. I'm originally from California, so more Los Angeles, Burbank area. So if you're ever in the area, definitely check us out. It's a good time. We moved to Texas back in 2010. My mom's job relocated.
Okay.
And at the time, I was playing basketball, really not too much like a football guy, but just overall athletics, always being outside, skateboarding, doing stuff. But I really got into football really going into probably 2 years into Texas. I didn't know it was that big of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Friday night lights, Saturdays, Sundays. I didn't know anything about it. But my journey really started in 2011. That's when I really started to take more football seriously. And then I did a lot of different sports. I wish I would have tried my hand in baseball like you, but I did more football, I did more track, and I did basketball like once. But other than that, really football has been a big focus.
We've heard that from numerous guests who've moved to Texas. Like later on in life, it's like, dude, we didn't realize how serious people were about football until we moved to Texas.
Yeah, man.
And you see stadiums as big as college stadiums for high schools, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's actually interesting to see because I was school in Houston and then I went to Dallas, and those are like, I wouldn't even say there are like differences because Duncanville is a huge school out there, DeSoto,
Right.
Cedar Hill. You have Pearland, you have North Shore, you have even Shadow Creek. So a lot of these schools are really, really big. And then you'll go to some smaller places and you'll be like, man, it's not the same.
No,
like
not
even
cool.
in California, a lot of my family and friends, they come by and they like see our stadiums, they're blown away.
Right.
Or even like my girlfriend, Haley, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see where a lot of programs have taken from what they're at now to where they're going. So it's awesome.
Absolutely, man. And so at what age were you whenever you moved here in 2010?
I want to say 11.
11.
11.
Okay. And you never played like organized football before that point?
Not at all. Not at all. I actually
Wow.
thought I was going to play like basketball. I was
Wow.
actually pretty good at basketball. I think at that point, kind of as you already know, like whether what sport ever you played, you were going to be good at it.
Right.
But I really, really got into more football for the teamwork, the camaraderie, things like that. I think that really solidified football for me. It's funny because I played nose guard. And if you look at me, like, I don't have the build for a nose guard, you know?
This is middle school football.
No, this isn't Pee Wee, man. This
Oh.
isn't Pee Wee. Yeah. Which I guess a lot of kids are pretty small. But even then, I look back, a lot of the people I played with or played against, they either went D1 or went to the league, you know? And that's just what
Right.
Texas breeds, you know? So, but yeah, started off at nose guard, went to corner, and I stuck to corner the whole time.
They were just like, shoot the gap, go attack the guy with the ball.
Absolutely. I was fast enough to be able to I was skinny and fast enough to be able to disturb the play. You know, maybe not strong enough to always get them down, but I was there.
And did you push basketball kind of off to the wayside, or did you continue on with the multi-sports throughout middle school and into high school?
I pushed it all the way into high school. I did it my freshman year.
Yeah.
And then the group of friends that I was personally with, we started to care more about where we're going to go after high school, and that was college ball. And it was football. It wasn't just college sports in general. It was directly football. So after freshman year, I just stopped.
Yeah.
And then I decided to get better at track just because the correlation of track speed to football speed really helps out. And I mean, it helped me out a lot. I mean, my freshman year and sophomore, I don't think I was the fastest. I think I was pretty much in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But then my junior and senior year, I was running a 4.45.
Wow.
So-
Like junior going into senior year, 4.45?
Yeah.
What was your best ever 40?
I got it down to a 4.42. I wanted to get it a little bit faster, but I ended up tearing my groin. So it was kind of like, yeah, tough after that. But other than that, a 4.42 was the lowest. I
That's
got.
respectable, especially as a CB.
Absolutely.
And you had some hops, I'm guessing.
Yeah, my highest was at 38.
Okay. Damn, that's solid.
No, but it's crazy because I remember one of my close friends, his name is Bryson. He was jumping like a 42. in high school. That's ridiculous, but it's a lot of athletes, man.
Oh, 100%. And at Pearline High School, too, which is like a legendary, Houston high school program. And, talk us through that. I mean, how was it playing big time 6A football in Texas?
Yeah, it's interesting. So like I said, everything's pretty much bigger in football in Texas in general, but it really started freshman year. They really set that standard, and it was different to me because if you go to some other schools, they don't have like A team, B teams. They don't really have that. So you're already setting the standard of like, hey, if you're on this team, you're expected to have a certain amount of competition in you. You're really pushing for that, right? So going my freshman year, being on freshman A team, and then sophomore year being on JV, and then getting pushed up to varsity during the playoffs, it's a good standard to have, especially when you're going against really good teams. And that's really just having a lot of discipline. That's also just being willing to be a teammate. I think those are two things that kind of, especially nowadays, I don't think a lot of people worry too much about. It's really individualized, and I think it works for some people. It works for some teams. But overall, I think a big thing they pushed for us was just being really physical and really being a team. That was a big thing that they pushed for us to be successful in 6A.
That's awesome. And did you start on both sides of the ball, like freshman year?
Freshman year, I did wide receiver and I did corner. We would flip flop. I played a lot more corner than I did wide receiver. They'll put me in for like swings. They'll put me in going like go balls, things like that.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year was a lot of DB. And then this is when I started to transition into more special teams and really more like returning kicks. So that's what I did the majority of my time. I played corner and then I did kick return.
And you made varsity your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Wow. And you're starting?
I wasn't starting. I was really third, but pushing it to second. But I really did a lot of special teams then, and that was like kickoff, punt return, things like that. And then going into later in the seasons is when we started to actually get more playing time. I would say that.
Yeah, I think for those viewers out there, man, like just to be on varsity your sophomore year at a big time 6A school like that, it's unheard of. I mean, like especially as a CB, as a cornerback, right? And,
yeah, absolutely.
And return man, it's like okay, maybe there's like a stud, like offensive lineman, maybe D lineman that makes the team, right?
Absolutely.
But those are few and far in between.
No, man, and really looking back at it, because we played a lot of good teams, and a notable team that I remember playing really is Manville. And they had a lot of great people, like Derek King was at quarterback, Reggie Hemphill was at wide receiver. They had a couple other people on their defensive side. Then all these guys have gone D1. Some of them even played in the league, right? So to be able to play that type of caliber of team while you're super young really helps you out when you're a junior and you're senior, because you've seen these types of people before. So it really helped me have a lot more confidence in myself that if I played against you being 16 years old, right? Once I get 17, 18-ish, like there's nothing else I can't do.
No, it's just more developed, more refined, faster, stronger, everything. You've grown a little bit taller.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Get a little more meat on my bones.
100%.
I wasn't also that big. I wasn't that big. I was like 150, but I mean, I was fast enough.
Yeah. If you're fast enough to play this game, like you can avoid contact.
100%. 100%. You know how to be able to work your body so when you get hit, you don't feel it as much,
Correct.
So I'm glad I played football out here than any other state. I'm glad I played football here other than California.
Correct. Correct.
If I could redo it, I might go wide receiver route, but I mean, man, it's just being overall athletic helps you out on the team.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. And now, like, when was it that you started getting college offers? Was that in between junior, senior year, or was that? Yeah,
so it really started my junior year. So really going into my junior year. Gotcha. I started getting really looked at. And the reason being is because, one, we went to a lot of camps. We're winning football. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it necessarily was hard, but also it stars aligning, things like that too, right? Like we won state in 2010, and those guys went to like Baylor. They went to like Ole Miss, places like that. So we already had some notoriety there.
Oh, right.
And then by the time I got there, it kind of died out a little bit, And we did have a guy named Coach Drones. Coach Drones was really big on recruitment at the time, and so he really helped us out. I wish he would have stayed for my brothers in like 2016, 2018. But once again, that goes to stars aligning, right? But it's that cliche term that if you're prepared, luck, it just helps you out that much more.
Right.
And with us day in and day out, going as hard as we can in practice, after practice, traveling to Dallas to go to, the Nike Combine to put our name out there, going to so many other camps that really, really helped us out. And then once you put your tape out there, like it's undeniable for people to want to get at you, So started my junior year, I declared pretty early. But man, I had some really great friends that went to a couple different places, A&M, U of H, Texas State, Sam Houston. So I would say we're blessed in that way, but I think we put a lot of effort outside of just like practice and then just being anywhere else.
No, absolutely. And when did these camps normally take place? Like, were they summer camps or were they?
They were more summer.
Okay.
More summer, like spring.
Gotcha.
The reason being is because, especially with like college sports during the fall time, they're not recruiting.
Season.
They're not
Right.
recruiting. So once you get into more like spring now, you do still have spring ball, but it's a little bit more lenient. So coaches are a little bit more available to be able to go out to different places and scout the people that they want. Or vice versa. They invite you now as a junior, senior, sophomore, freshman, whatever you might be. They now can invite you to their facilities and be like, hey, this is what this looks like. They'll have some camps there too. So really more of a spring and summertime, I think a lot of kids need to take advantage of.
Okay, that's good to know for our viewers out there who are looking to pursue college football. It's like, go to these camps, get as much exposure as possible, do track and field in the spring, right? Enhance your athleticism, your speed, your agility,
100%.
everything like that.
Especially for like skilled positions. Now, I can't really talk too much on like defensive line or, offensive line or anything like that.
Right.
Now, from a skill position wise, so like, corner, wide receiver, linebacker, safety, things like that, I would really hone in on track just because that translation from track speed to football speed is just fast twitch muscles. That's what you really need.
Yeah.
And really what helps out with that, and I didn't like it at the time. I don't think anyone likes it at the time, but I'm a sprinter. I'm doing 100, 200s, 4x1s, 4x2s. Why am I running miles? Why am I running this?
I'm working my slow twitch. I'm trying to work my fast twitch.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that at the time, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But endurance, right? Having your muscles be able to get broken down so they can rebuild for stronger, fast twitch muscles. It really, really is helpful. So if you're a skill position, I would say, hey man, like, I would stick to track. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a phenom at basketball, man, by all means,
Go play.
By all means, go do it.
Right.
I remember there's he plays for the Denver Broncos now, Cortland Sutton. At SMU, he's a star, but he also played a little bit of basketball at SMU, right? So I'm not saying you can't do those things, but understand what you're looking out for. Me, I just wanted to get faster.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to take basketball seriously, but I could take track seriously.
Correct.
So if you're a big guy, I'd probably do some type of like powerlifting personally.
Right.
I would. I think that would help you more than necessarily track would,
I agree.
So depending on the muscle groups and who you are, do it. But 100% track is the way to go, especially if you want to especially now, the way that they're playing the game. There's so many.
It's so fast.
It's so fast nowadays.
I mean, even as an edge rusher, you might want to consider
Oh,
track,
100%,
right? Because you need to be running a
100%.
4.5, 4.6.
Yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely. I mean, even think about it. A lot of defensive linemen, offensive linemen are at least running 4.7s, 4.8s.
It's crazy, dude.
That's
moving.
pretty fast
At
at
300.
at 340 pounds. So
That's scary.
if you're an outside linebacker, if you're a defensive end, you're probably on average maybe 6'2" to 6'4". Mm-hmm. If you can at least run a 4.6, man, you're getting off that edge extremely fast.
You're moving.
You're
chasing at a quarterback.
absolutely,
That's-
absolutely. You're chasing them so fast, and
Yeah,
the
depending on what kind
quarterbacks
of
are fast.
Well, and depending on what kind of angles you're taking, that's how you can catch certain running backs. That's how
That's a big thing. That's a big thing. Also, one thing I would say too that I think I wish I would have did more of that I started to do really in college was really, really develop myself in film study. I wish I would have did that in high school because the thing about high school, there's a lot of athletic people. Don't get me wrong, there
Right.
is, but when you get to college, everyone's athletic.
Correct.
Everyone's athletic. Now, when you start to get into playoffs, things like that, more people will be athletic too. But if you're really a big nerd on film, you move that much faster. Now, think about it. If I understand the formation that you're in when you're there, and I know the different route trees that you have, I know the different concept of runs you can do, I play at a faster pace than somebody who doesn't.
Okay.
So
Fair
with
enough.
me being super fast already, me already being super athletic, now if I just know your plays as well as you know your plays, or at least I think I know your plays as much, man, I'm jumping that extremely fast.
Right, because it helps you It helps your jump. It helps for your first step, where you're going, kind of anticipating, right?
You're not guessing.
Right.
You're not guessing. So I really wish I would have did that more in high school. Now I think they're probably doing that a lot more now, right? I think people were doing it when I was there too, but I think now people are starting to realize that like football, particularly basketball, any sport, if you're trying to get into college or get into the pros, you're taking it more as like an actual professional. It's not necessarily just a hobby anymore. It's not just a sport. It's actually like, it's not a job, but you are a professional at this point.
Right.
Kids are getting paid millions of dollars to be able to play high school ball.
You have to treat it as such.
know?
And so going into college, because you graduated from Pearland what year?
17.
17. And what was the recruiting process like? How many offers did you have, and what made you choose SMU?
Yeah. So in total, I had around 10. Now, I really narrowed it from like Fresno State to SMU. And then I did have Army. I thought that was interesting. My mom would not let me go to Army. She was like, not going to let me do that.
Yeah.
But those are some really top ones.
Awesome.
But the recruitment process itself, I thought it was pretty interesting. Is if anyone kind of watches any type of movie or TV show that's about like high school people getting recruited, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Like I remember the first time that SMU came down, I was in like third period, and they were just like, "Hey, Justin, like come to the office." Didn't tell me for what. They're just like, "Just come to the office." I was like, "All right, sure, man." Walk in there, and then it's like my head coach Tony Heath, and then that's where Chad Morris was. So like having that pretty consistently throughout the year, it was a fun experience. But then also on top of that, you get a lot of mail too,
Right.
like from so many different schools talking about, "Hey, official visit here, unofficial visit here, like come check us out," or they'll come to my games, right? Even like I remember one time SMU, they flew on a helicopter to come to one of my football games,
Wow.
And they landed in our baseball field, and then they watched me for a while, and then they left, so that's all the like glitz and glamour and like all the glitter that they put on there. Other than that, I mean, a lot of it is just like official visits, man. Really just filling out the city, two, after the city, because you're going to be there for 4 years, right?
Right.
Or at least you would hope. Now a lot of kids are flip-flopping.
Maybe one.
A lot of kids are flip-flopping
Yeah.
now, but I mean, for the most part, back in the day, you were staying there for 4 years, so you have to make sure you like the city. After you like the city, then it's like, okay, cool. Let me see what the school itself has to offer, not necessarily just sports, because at the end of the day, NFL stands for not for long, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, you do want to make sure you're getting something out of it. Yeah. And then next is really just not necessarily the team, because the team could not be good, but they have really good, morals, right? The team can be really, really good and have terrible morals, right? So it's like, hey, what are they offering me as like a player? Not necessarily just like playtime or anything like that. What do they offer me as a player? And I think those are the big things for me. I come from a single household, my mom, my grandma, right? So a big thing that Chad Morris and Coach Malone, who was my corner coach at the time, they're really, really preaching more, teaching you how to be a man.
Yeah.
Right. Setting that solid foundation, like how to be a man.
For sure.
And that was one thing that I really stuck with me, that's what they wanted to do. I'm not saying the other teams weren't wanting to do that, but that wasn't like one of their like forefronts where they were pushing that heavily.
Understood.
So that was one reason I decided to go there. Two, Dallas is not really far from Houston.
No.
It's only a 4-hour drive. So it allows my grandma and my mom to be able to see my games, as many games as they could. So really based off of those two things is the reason why I cut my actual recruitment short. Now, hindsight, I wish I wouldn't, just because I just wanted to see what else could I get, right?
For sure.
But other than that, man, those are the two major reasons I decided to go to SMU. But recruiting process is fun, man. If anybody gets an opportunity to be a part of that, even if it's like for D2, D3, doesn't really matter. Like if people are willing to buy into you and want you to be a part of what they're building, man, go for it.
Well, dude, walk us through what the vibe of Highland Park, Dallas, Texas is like, because SMU, man, that's like some old daddy money, right?
Absolutely.
So what was the culture shock walking on that campus, and what was the vibe like around that campus and with the student body and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I got you, man. So it's different. Don't get me wrong. It's 100% different.
Yeah.
But with Pearland, it's a good mixture of white to black ratio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Now with SMU, it's really not like that. It is predominantly white. So it's predominantly white. So I think in that aspect, I wasn't necessarily shocked, but it was very interesting to see how these kids like how they thought about things, how they kind of move throughout life. Because a lot of them are either there's two types of people that apologies. There's two types of people that go to SMU. Ones who their stuff is paid for no matter what. Like they don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Now there's other people who are going into debt to go to SMU. Right. So you could tell the real difference of those two types of people.
They carry themselves differently.
They carry themselves totally different, and you could tell that very, very fast. One experience, and I don't really like remember this person's name, but she was in my class, and she came. We had a test. It was funny. We had a test, and she was hungover, man, like super hungover. Yeah. But then, throughout like the test being ending, she was like, "Yeah, we're about to go on this other bus. We're about to go to UT. We're about to go turn up more." And I was like, "Dude, you were just dead in class." Like you were just dead in class, right? That's somebody whose stuff's already paid for.
Correct.
They don't really care about it.
Correct.
Then there's other kids where they're in our common areas and they're like studying their tails off, right? Where you can really see that happening, right? So those are two types of people. A lot of these kids, they have a lot of material stuff.
Right.
That's a big thing. Like Golden Goose is a big thing, kind of shoes wise. Cartier. You'll hear them talk about how they lost their little screw for it. It's just slight things where you'll hear from them where you're like, okay, you're pretty much taken care of.
Right.
But Highland Park in general, it's interesting because we're in the middle of a neighborhood, literally right in the middle of Highland Park. So you'll see random people walking. People will be walking their dogs. People like stay-at-home moms will have like a stroller of 3 kids and they're just walking through there. So it's super friendly. It's super friendly.
Right.
Never had any issues with it.
Yeah.
But it was funny this one time. Me and my girlfriend, we went to a football game and I had a TV in my back of my car, and she was like, "You're not gonna put a blanket over that or anything?" I was like, "No,
It's safe here."
I'm in Highland Park. Like no one is worried about this TV in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we came back and it was still there, and she was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." Well, but that's just how Highland Park is. Like they're not worried about any of those things. You know, like we're in the middle of, if not the probably most wealthy community out, not just in Texas, maybe even, America, who knows?
Yeah, it's out
so
there.
like, but overall, man, I think the kids there, they're an interesting group. I do wish I would have pushed more towards not necessarily networking, but more social groups.
Okay.
More social groups.
Sure.
Just because you just never know. You just never know who's going to be there, who you're going to meet, things like that.
Right.
Right. And I did see, I thought I was already a part of a social group, football. I'm already a part of it. So why do I need to be a part of a lot more, giving more of my time that I'm already giving? Because at the end of the day, I'm waking up at 5, not getting done until probably like 10,
Right.
And that's including school.
Correct.
That's including school and sometimes even longer than that. So, but I do wish I would have been more social with a lot of the other kids there. Don't get me wrong, I do have some friends that weren't a part of any sports or anything like that, but I do wish I would have pushed that a little bit more too. So anybody who goes to school, at the end of the day, make sure you're doing your schoolwork, make sure you're putting in a lot of effort, but also make sure you're being a part of the community that's there too.
For sure. And on top of that, man, like, SMU historically was really, really good, right?
Yeah.
And everyone knows, like, they're the only school that has ever experienced the death penalty,
Yeah, man. Sucks.
which, is kind of crazy to think about. And so how was it being a part of an organization, a program that you're trying to build it back up to where it once was back in the 70s?
Man, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great because, for a long time we sucked. We couldn't be on TV. We couldn't recruit. I think like in 2003, 2004, we won an actual conference championship. But that's a long stretch of not winning.
Correct.
And so really, in my freshman year of 2017, we went to a bowl game. And that was our Super Bowl. That was our Super Bowl because we haven't had that in a while.
Right.
And then my sophomore year, we didn't win enough games, so we didn't get one. And that's when we changed. And I give a lot of credit to a lot of the seniors who are going into my junior year, and us being a part of that, we really changed the culture of Dallas and Dallas football.
Okay.
Right? Because at that point, we really didn't have a real college team. Like, we had our regular donors who've been there for so long. There wasn't a lot of students being at our games as much. Right? But like, we started to see that we kept winning games. We were like 10-3 my junior year.
Wow.
We were ranked like 15 in the country. Now people are starting to be like, SMU SMU. They're really being a part of it.
Right.
And then we started getting into the Triple D, and they started branding that. They started putting out signs. And so it was.
What's that stand for?
So really Triple D, really going to is the Dallas, Fort Worth area, but really no one says DFW just because like TCE's over there. But the Triple D is really setting the tone for Dallas, not DFW, nothing. Like that's just our stamp for it.
Gotcha.
And it's to see now more people, especially now, they're really buying into that. We are selling out our stadiums now. It's selling out tickets is amazing to see because at first it wasn't like that. Because when you're playing football, you have an opportunity to have like 4 tickets for your like family. But like back then, like you can get so many more because a lot of people's family either weren't going or there were just a lot of tickets around.
You got 12. It's okay.
It's cool, right? You can invite your whole family, even like, you know, your cousins down the road. But now it's like they're kind of scarce on that because like there's a lot of people that are going to these games.
Right.
And I mean, we just beat Miami, right? Even though we had a good season this year, but like starting to build upon that is really awesome to see, man.
I mean, it's incredible, right? Making the college football playoff last year.
Yeah.
And I think like NIL is
first
really,
time.
Yeah, first time ever. And then like, dude, these NIL deals like that had to have benefited SMU tremendously, right? Just due to the boosters, due to the alumni. And now people are like, well, Dallas is an awesome place to go to school. Like you said, like it's a cool city.
Yep.
And it's very much a football school. Like they don't have a baseball program.
I wish they did.
Yeah,
I really wish they did
too. And it's a smaller school, right? Like, because there's like what, 12,000 students?
Yeah, it's not that many.
Yeah, private
It's not
school.
that many. Private school, but it's really, really cool to be able to see that actually working out now, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And NIL has helped a lot, just because of recruitment purposes. A lot of kids beforehand, especially like Duncanville's, DeSoto's, Cedar Hills, Lake Travis, and places like that, they're all leaving. They're all leaving.
You don't have to go far outside of SMU to find really some of the
Not
best
at
talent
all.
in the country, right? Like, I mean, if you go to Dallas,
Absolutely.
Houston, you can find some of the best talent in the country. when it comes
Absolutely,
to
absolutely.
football.
You can find literally like 5 studs. But the problem is like SMU didn't have the notoriety that they have now. They weren't winning. They didn't have enough donors buying into the money. Now they can. So a lot more kids are staying home. And a lot of kids want to stay.
Correct.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people always think that, yes, there's Alabama. Don't get me wrong. People want to play for those schools too.
Sure.
But a lot of people understand that a lot of their families aren't going to be able to travel for that. They want their family to be there. So if you can bring not only the aspect of like you're going to be secure here, not just, you know, school-wise, football-wise, but your family's going to be secure here too,
Yeah,
man, any kid would love to stay. Any kid would love to stay.
that's awesome. I mean, I believe it, you know. And what was the biggest hurdle for you to overcome going into college football? I mean, like, was it the size, the speed of these guys? What was the biggest difference that you had to adjust to?
Speed of the game.
Speed of the game.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I really wish that, like, in high school, I would have took more film study really seriously. I had to learn that trait in college.
Got you.
It's not the fact, because that's what I was saying. Like, there's athletic people in high school, but not everyone's athletic.
Correct.
Right? But everyone is athletic in college. So what sets the difference from you is how well you know the game.
Preparation.
So I really wish I would have set that foundation really early on. So instead of me now being behind the 8 ball, I'm like, okay, I already know how to watch film. I already know how to allocate my time to watch this.
Yeah.
So now I can go a lot faster to where I don't have to have any missteps, right? So I wish I would have did that early on, high school, to help me my freshman year going into my sophomore. That would have changed a lot for sure. But I think that was the biggest hurdle. It's just the speed of the game. It's not the speed of the people. It's the speed of the game.
Well, and do you feel like the coaches in college, they obviously know how to teach film study much better than coaches in high school?
100%.
right?
I mean, like you generally have to think about it. Like high school coaches are what? They're teachers, man. Like
Right.
they're teaching
Yeah,
like science.
they love the game,
They're
but they're
teaching. They're teaching. You know, they have kids at gym, but like college, NFL, this is their job. They're not doing anything else but that. So yeah, they know how to be able to teach you that way better. So that's the reason why it helped me, right, be a lot better than what I was coming in. But I also think now a lot of coaches are taking, especially for bigger programs, they are taking that a lot more seriously.
Right.
Right. Like I even think about it. My nephew, he's a sophomore. He started on varsity this year too at Pearland. He's a safety, number 14. Shout out TJ.
I met him last year, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah.
so. Yeah, they're watching film on Sunday.
Wow.
They're coming in early, watching film on Sunday,
Wow.
and then they work out, and then they do practice. We did not do that on Sunday. You know,
No.
we did not do that on Sunday. Like the next time you're looking at film and the next time you're doing any of that,
Yeah.
that's on Monday morning. That's Monday afternoon, not even Monday morning. This is after school's over. So
That's awesome. And you know, you showed me a transformation photo of yourself in college from
Yeah.
all the food you ate, all the weights you lifted, right? So
ridiculous.
I mean, dude, how many meals were you guys eating a day? And like,
Mm-hmm.
what was a weight room schedule on a weekly basis for you guys at SMU?
Yeah. I had to force myself to eat 5 actual meals a day. Not just eat 5 times a day, 5 actual meals a day. And at first you
Not
feel
snacks,
sick. Not snacks.
but meals.
Actual meals, man. Like I had to eat 5 real meals. I snacked every 2 to 3 hours. I had to have it was mandatory. You had to have a water bottle that was full. It had to at least be half or full. It cannot be empty. If you walked in there and you didn't have any water in your water bottle, you're in trouble.
Wow.
But also a big thing also is like they gave us food, they gave us breakfast, they gave us lunch, they gave us dinner. So they were making sure we were eating. Now, it was a little bit different. So I had 2 coaching staffs my college tenure. So my first staff, I had Chad Morris, I had Van Malone, and then I had Coach True. He was our strength and conditioning coach. They weren't as don't get me wrong. I don't think professional is the right term, but the way that they orchestrated football, the way they orchestrate nutrition is not the same way that when Sonny Dykes and then Coach Kazadi from Baylor, and that he was there when RG3 was there, right? And they were winning.
Yes.
So the way that they seen everything was so different.
Correct.
So from going from where you don't have to eat those 5 meals a day, you don't have to have that water, to where, no, this is mandatory. And if you don't have it, you are in trouble. So like I said, 5 meals every day, stacking 2 to 3 hours. You had to have water on deck. And then weight wise, we would lift every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Was it full body or was it split up?
It would be split up.
Okay.
It would be split up. So how it would work is you would come in around, well, at least I came in around 5:40. You had to at least be moving by 6 a.m. You had to be moving outside.
Blood's pumping.
You had to. So what would happen is you would come upstairs to eat breakfast and you would weigh in. You have to weigh in.
Got you.
And if you don't hit that weight, you have to hit that weight before you go outside. So then you would go outside and then you have to do a lap around the field. You have to warm up everything. And then they would split you up in groups. So typically it would be like the skill positions and things like that would be in one group and all the big guys would be in the other group. So we'll start off outside. We'll do a lot of agility and everything. And the big men are inside lifting weights. Okay. And that would be for about an hour, And then we would flip. And then you would go work out. And that would be for about an hour. And then this is when you'll go back up to eat again. And then you have class. Now, if you had to go to class, they would give you a to-go box to eat in class. So you would see a lot of us have these foil cans or like, the regular to-go box plates that you had in class eating while we're in class,
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was pretty weird for a lot of kids because they're like wondering like, why are you guys? A lot of them don't even eat.
Well, you have your own athletic cafeteria. Am I wrong? Or you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you're getting better food than like the rest of the student
Oh,
body.
100%. 100%. Like I said, man, like typically what I would be doing, I'm moving around by 5:40, but I'm ready at 6.
Yeah.
Like you have to be ready at 6. You can't get there at 6. That's a no-go. That's non-negotiable. It just can't happen. So like I said, they would split us up in groups, skills versus big mid. So you'd work out for an hour outside and then you work out inside. And then afterwards you would have to go eat and then go to class.
Okay.
So like most normal students, you're in class from maybe like 10 to maybe around like 2 o'clock, right? Now, sometimes, so also what they did for us, we had like a block schedule in a way. So there's some days where you might even have a class at like 9.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I also just had practice, right? So it's at the end of the day, man, like I'm 100% busy from literally 5 in the morning until at least 10, man. Because once we have practice, we then have to go do like a miniature lift, which was really more for like speed. That's really what a big thing was.
Right.
And then after that, you would actually have your meetings individually for your position, and then you have special teams, and then you have an overall just breakdown. And then really the breakdown is just getting everyone back together, be like, hey, this is what the next day is going to be like. Cool. Now go home.
Got you.
So we really wouldn't end our days, man, until, like I said, probably like, unless you had class, maybe 9:30.
And you're just going to bed at that point. Like,
Yeah.
are you so tired at that point? Like, you just, when your head hits the pillow, you're asleep.
Man,
Are you gaming? Or are you like, what are you doing at night?
so when you're young, man, you're just out there.
You got
like
energy.
you got energy. You got energy. You know what I'm saying?
If you're eating 5 meals, you got fuel for the day, dude.
You got fuel for the day, you know. So, but like the cool thing about it, I mean, like most of the time, yeah, I would say I was probably gaming, or I would go hang out with some of my friends at their houses or their dorms, things like that.
Right.
And then the cool part leading into it is that you get a lot of opportunity, particularly to go around the city, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of opportunity. But for the most term, man, I was like pretty much in my dorm a lot, hang out with my roommate, or I go hang out with my close friend. His name is Judah. I'll go hang out with him or some of the other players.
Right.
But the most tired you'll probably ever be, like, you're tired during the season, don't get me wrong. You're tired
Right.
during the season. But man, fall camp is different.
Yeah.
Fall camp, you are hurting. Man, your fall camp is not for the weak, brother.
No.
It's not for the weak. I can only imagine when two-a-days were a thing.
Right.
We didn't have that. So
They ended it by the
they
time.
ended it by the time we got there.
Okay.
But man, like, you are broken. You're broken. Fall camp is tough.
Well,
That's,
man,
that's probably the most tired I've been.
That's-
Fall camp.
well, man, walk us through, like, what was your favorite college football experience, whether it be like place that you played at or just overall, experience with your teammates or anything like that?
Let's see. I think that one of the coolest ones was we played Cincinnati at their stadium. Their stadium is super cool.
Yeah.
Because it's not enclosed, it's outside, but the way that they have like the box where at the end zone, but then it wraps around. It almost looks like a coliseum.
Yes.
And the best way I can explain it kind of gives Hogwarts vibes.
Okay.
If you ever see kind of like when they're like doing Quidditch and stuff like that, it kind of gives that vibe.
Okay.
But we went into overtime with them and we won. Yes. It was such a cool experience. It was my freshman year. It was such a cool experience, man, like being in that locker room after that overtime win, because like we really had to grind to get that win.
Yeah.
And it was super cool. It was super cool. But I mean, we've gone to like bowl games, things like that. I wish we could have went to the college football playoffs at the time, but that was last year. I wasn't playing anymore, but I even think that was probably cool. But I think the coolest thing is just coming back, seeing all your brothers again, man. Like, definitely playing with them, but also like you get to see everyone again.
Right.
And I definitely need to come catch more games at the SMU, but that was one of my favorite parts, was being at that Cincinnati game. That was a good one.
And that was the coolest stadium you think you ever played at as well?
I mean, playing at the big house is nice. Going it through like the 50-yard line, that's pretty cool.
Right.
It's way louder, but I just think like the ambiance wise, it was really nice being at Cincinnati.
Really?
They got a cool stadium.
I like the red and black like color scheme they got going on too. Okay.
Yeah. It's nice, man.
Well, man, Justin, it's been an honor having you on, man, and like we're definitely going to get you on again. But
for
dude,
sure.
really, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming on with us, dude. It's been fun.
No, I appreciate it, brother. At the end of the day, like, what you guys are doing is awesome. I think if more kids and more parents can hear this type of content, I think it would really help them out. One, not stress, because now the only time you're stressing is when you don't know it.
Correct.
So giving them more education is helpful, but also just getting so many different people on the platform really helps with life experience and just knowledge in general, man. So y'all keep doing what y'all are doing, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That was awesome, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2,